Hey everybody, I'm Brendan, and this is my lovely wife Sunshine, and we are the McGee's, a family of global travelers, adventure seekers, and holistic, mindful practitioners.
Today we want to talk about something that a lot of people are looking at right now, moving to Portugal. We currently live in Portugal. We did not start our adventure from the United States to Portugal, however. So a lot of people are going to Portugal from the United States, going from the UK. We actually started our journey from Germany. So we were already here in was it Shenzhen?
Yeah, Shenzhen.
Yeah, Shenzhen. We were already here. My husband had a job, so we had a residential visa for Germany, and we started our process already here. So what happened was we reached out to the local consulate for Portugal. What was that place?
That was
It was near Stuttgart. That was the one that she wanted all the crazy documents.
Oh yeah.
Excuse me. So
crazy requirements.
Yeah, that's something you'll learn. Every place you reach out to, it depends on the person you speak with. They're going to require a different document. No matter what these Facebook groups, I'm not going to mention their group names, but these Facebook groups, they tell you, if you follow this, you'll have no problems. You'll have problems because it depends on the person. It depends on the time of day. Things are constantly changing.
Bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy
is a big thing. I thought people were just talking and, whatever, but it's a real thing.
It's a big thing.
And as she said, different people can require something different. You can follow a whole checklist and they get to your stuff. Well, what about this? I want to see X, Y, and Z. And you can say, well, I follow the checklist. I should be good. You can't argue it.
Nope.
You can't argue it.
Nope.
They're saying they want some extra form apostle that wasn't even on the checklist. You know what?
It was not.
You're going to have to go and get that apostle and everything.
Yeah, if you want to deal with that person. So we dealt with Stuttgart. I didn't like Stuttgart. And I reached out to Dusseldorf. Love Dusseldorf. If you've never been to Dusseldorf, Germany, please go. Amazing. So we reached out to a guy, spoke with a man named Anthony. I'll never forget his name. And spoke with Anthony. And that was interesting. So we went out the first time. Anthony told us this is all you need. And as a matter of fact, we're only going to do your visa, pointing at me. We're only going to do your visa. Your family's going to join next. It's an easy process, really easy. You get your visa in a couple of days, your family joins you after. Excuse me. So we listened to Anthony. We had to come back in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
It was 2 weeks. And we showed up. First of all, it's a 3-hour train ride from where we used to live. So we went on a train ride, booked an Airbnb, woke up bright and early in the morning, had my makeup done, all the children, everybody's all clean, oiled up, moisturized, and they're closed. The person who does the visas, it wasn't Anthony who was working on our stuff, it was someone else. They were not there. They were on holiday, and we did not receive. Good old vacation. They're good at that too. No notification, no, hey, we're not coming, no, don't show up. There's 15 other people in that office. Those 15 people did not work on visas. We had to come back. So that's another thing that you have to deal with. You may have an appointment. That appointment may or may not happen based on what's happening in their world. Vacations, strikes. I just didn't want to show up. You never know. So we come back a third time. And Anthony does my visa because, like I said, he's a professional. And he said, I'm just going to do yours. No problem. Your stuff's going to come in. Then you bring your family to Portugal and it's easy. And he went lying. The first part. He went lying about the first part. So we went, and the third time, turned in all the documentation, paid 176 euros, which is equivalent of, at the time, I think it was $190 maybe. And I got my visa in 2 days. Like, we were in Portugal, and I had to book it. I had to buy a quick flight back to Dusseldorf from Portugal, Lisbon, Portugal. And that was interesting because I had to catch a flight, run to the train station, get there, get my stamp, get my passport, visa stamp, hop back on the train, hop back on the flight, and come back home. I think it was in 1 day, right?
I think it was.
I didn't stay the night anywhere.
No, it's a turn and burn.
It was a turn and burn. Never done it in my life. That's cool trip. Anyway, that's another video. So we did that, and inside of my passport, and a lot of people that you'll watch, they'll talk about the different visas and their appointments being inside of their passport. I happen to be one of those people. At the time, it was Seth. Right now it's Ima, and maybe another name by the time you see this video. But it was a Seth appointment scheduled for like 3 months out. They scheduled my appointment for 2 months out from the time that I received my visa, which not that big of a deal. So we went to the appointment. I'm fast forward. I'm skipping a lot of pieces because I'm getting to the nitty gritty. So I go to my appointment and had the children with me. Because at the time, Brendan was still at his job in Germany. We weren't stressing over him. We could add him at another time. So I took the children per Anthony's instructions. Again, following instructions. I had everything on the checklist that he told me to have at my appointment for the children. And they said, no, they have to have their own appointment. So I said, well, how do I schedule an appointment? They said, well, you're going to have to wait for your residence card to come in. Then you're going to have to make an appointment for them. My card came in 26 days. So everything was just, so I'm like, oh, this is good. Anthony was right. Anthony was on to something. So my card came in 26 days in hand. They tell you that you have to sign for it. I didn't have to sign for it. It was actually like dropped under a rock where we lived. I had to dig and find it. So I called the number that was given to me by the agent when I first went to my appointment, and I was told there were no appointments. They're not taking any appointments for anybody, and they don't know when the appointment's going to be available. So you're going to have to call every day. So I called this number like clockwork every day for a year. Finally got an appointment for the children. They had an appointment the following year. So they just had their appointment, 2024. Mm-hmm. September 2024. Simultaneously, I'm trying to get this one an appointment. Guess what? They're not taking appointments for anyone over the age of 18. So my children can have an appointment. First of all, it was no one over the age of 5. So my youngest one was able to get an appointment. They wouldn't get one for my eldest, my second youngest.
Yes.
Yeah. We have 4 children. It's a lot of children. So the 2 children, the youngest one could get an appointment. The other one could not get an appointment. It took a while for them to be able to get both of them their appointments. So they were able to get their appointments, and I tried to get him an appointment. No one over the age of 18 can get an appointment. I had to email. He had to email every day. Call every day.
Yeah.
Call, email. And how is it that I have a residence card? My children are attending school. We've been here for 2.5 years. They don't have residence cards. They're not taking appointments. He can't even get an appointment, but we're a whole family. And when we had the appointment for the children, everything that's needed for his appointment, he had to bring to their appointment. He had to actually sign to say that they can get a residence card at the appointment. Why couldn't you just see him then? Because he's over the age of 18. It took us filing a complaint and the daily emails before he finally got an appointment. And then guess what happened? What happened when we got to your appointment?
When we got to my appointment, they were like, oh, yep, got you down here at 11:30. Come back at 2 o'clock.
We drove for how many hours?
It was two and a half hour drive. 2.5 hour drive to that immigration office. Mm-hmm. Got there on time. Matter of fact, they told everybody, because they had several people, everybody, hey, come back at 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
And that was frustrating, because you want to make sure you're on time so you can handle your business, not be late or anything like that. And again, you never know what might happen on any given day. That was just one of those moments where they switched up things. Hey, come back at 2 o'clock. So I come back at 2 o'clock, and I was literally the last person they took to process for my appointment. And that in itself was kind of frustrating because, again, had everything for the checklist, and they required something different. Mm-hmm. So,
Oh, and they wanted it within 10 days.
Yeah, 10 days.
Oh, you need to bring it. I know it took us 2 years to get you seen, but in 10 days, you need to have this stuff provided, is what they said. It's not happening. That's not how it works in real life. You cannot get your FBI report that expired because it only lasts for 6 months. And he's been technically a resident of Portugal for how long? 2.5 years. Yeah, so you cannot get an FBI report apostilled and all that translated in 10 days. You cannot get a brand new marriage certificate, which is that what they required? The marriage certificate, yeah. Marriage certificate, can I get a brand new one apostilled and translated in 10 days? They were requesting stuff in 10 days. No, it's not going to happen. But luckily they did see us that day, because I'm hearing horror stories of people coming up there driving 2-3 hours, taking flights, and there's a sign on the door saying, "Oh, we're on strike. We're closed." And we don't know when we're coming back. You'll get an email.
Right.
You'll get an email, and they're really good at, you'll get an email. They're really good at saying that, and man, that's stressful. You don't get emails really.
Not at all.
The people who get emails, very happy for you. That has not been the case for a lot of other people, but that's our experience. A lot of people are coming from the United States. I highly do not recommend family reunification visas. That is what we did. I came in on a D7. I'm retired, and I listened to lovely Anthony. Anthony had the best intentions. He didn't lie about the quickness. I got my visa 2 days, my card in 26 days, very fast. But he did not realize, or didn't know, or I don't know. I don't know what he thought. He didn't know that here in Portugal, things are ran differently than they are in Germany. So it took us a long time. We were riding dirty, riding dirty for a while. And I don't recommend family reunification visas. Just if you can afford it, if you have the time, even if you're coming from Germany, there's a lot of service people, a lot of contractors who have residence visas in Germany, Spain. There's another place, I can't remember where.
I don't recall right now.
Yeah, at the top of my head. But there's another place. Just do the whole thing. You know, it takes a little bit more time. You may have to have a little bit more documentation. Just have the documentation and just go that route, because you don't know what's going to happen, and you don't want to be in a situation, especially with the political climate. You don't want to be in a situation where they can feel froggy and be like, "Oh, you're American, go deported." You don't want to put yourself in a situation. It's really stressful, because every time you go to the airport, you have to re-explain why you have a residence visa, they don't have a residence visa, and they've been here for over a year. And you have to really keep your fingers crossed and pray that the officer there is going to allow you to come back, allow you to leave, not put a little sticker on your name in the file and say, "Hey, this one's illegal." Yeah, you're at the mercy of people when you take it this way. They have different papers you can carry around saying that the visas have expired, but they're given an extension, or what is that? But that's only if you're coming to Portugal. A lot of these flights, you have to stop in Spain. Spain doesn't have to listen to that. France does not have to and will not listen to that mandate. You have to come directly into Portugal. What if your flight doesn't? So you don't want to put yourself in that situation. It's very stressful. I've gained a couple of gray hairs by it. I've lost some sleep, and I've had a lot of anxiety coming through flights. You have anything else?
No, I think you really hit everything on top of it. Yeah.
Well, that was it. Just wanted to real quick come in and share that information with you. I hope it was insightful. I hope it was helpful. If you want to like and subscribe, do that. And
Please do that.
Yes, and we will see you next week.
All right.
Peace.